System on. Speakers on. What? Good morning. Why do I always have technical difficulties? Morning. I don't see you though. Main jail. I don't see them.
Sorry. Your Honor,
I see a black screen.
Is that something need to be? No, they're all. Ours is ominous black screen.
I'm not seeing you, and it seems to me that everything is correct.
Is it on?
System on, main jail, speakers are on. Should I close the page and see what happens?
Is it on juvenile?
Why does this always happen? Hello?
Hello,
No, can't see you.
number hours?
Now I see you. Good morning.
Morning.
So you're Mr. Michael McAuliffe?
No,
Judge, the North Broward Detention Center asked if Mr. Peterson, on page 13, Jaron Peterson could be called out of turn.
Oh, okay, I would have
So I'm
liked.
passing that along to you. That might be Mr. Peterson right there.
Are you Mr. Peterson? Are you Mr. Peterson?
yes,
Check the
this
doc.
is
This is
Mr.
what we
Peters.
said, or
Okay, now, I don't have the docket with me, so could someone help me find Mr. Peterson's?
I see the document real quick, please.
Give us one moment, sir.
Page is he on? He's young. It's on page 15.
Sorry about the wait. I'll be with you in a second. All right, so good morning. You're Jerome Peterson, correct? And you're being charged with 1 count of alleged possession of cannabis, for which I find probable cause, and 2 misdemeanors, 1 resisting an officer without violence, and trespassing on a conveyance. Does anyone have any probable cause arguments?
Judge, I don't have a probable cause affidavit on the case.
There was a reset from what I see. And yes, I find probable cause, and I am setting bond at $100. That's sufficient, state?
That's fine with the state, Your Honor.
Pardon?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor?
Yes, have a
Before-
good day.
Before we move on to the next case, if we could possibly address the 3 cases I mentioned to the court before we started.
Okay, certainly.
Murad Zuparov, Jasmine Jackson, and Terrence Wilburn. These are all domestic violence cases, Your Honor. I would just ask if those cases could be brought before the specific domestic violence judges that are now handling these first appearances.
Okay, very good, thank you. Do you know which jail they're at?
They're all in Maine.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Maine.
Yeah, so we could just ask the deputies to bring,
Okay, Maine, can you see me? Because I can't see you. Are your cameras on? Okay, we need somebody. I'm gonna go off and the system and ask that we get some technical help, because I see nobody, no picture. My name's Judge Backman, and we will start.
Good morning.
We'll start right away. So when I call your name,
Your Honor,
come up.
if we could ask the deputy, because I believe all of those three defendants are over at the main, if we could ask the deputies.
Okay, so can you state the name?
Yes, and deputies, if Murad Zuparov and Jasmine Jackson need to be brought before Judge McHugh for first appearance, and Terrence Wilburn needs to be brought before Judge Cohen.
We had a hard time hearing like what names you were announcing.
Murad Zuparov, I believe that's him. Is that him standing right there?
Okay. Yeah. Mirage Zuran, he's here. What page? 11.
One moment. He's on page 11.
He has to be brought to.
Judge McHugh.
Okay.
Jasmine Jackson on page 2.
Also brought before Judge McHugh.
Yes, and Terrence Wilburn on page 25 needs to be brought before Judge Cohen.
Terrence Wilborn?
Yes, sir.
Wilburn.
All right, so good morning again. Michael McAuliffe. Good morning,
Mr.
sir.
McAuliffe?
There is a 6th out-of-state felony hold on you for which there is no bond. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Johnson.
Michael.
Samantha
Michael
Johnson. I just did that.
No problem, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Morning,
Hello.
Judge. How you doing this morning?
Good. How are you, ma'am?
I'm well.
You.
George Odom, on behalf of Ms. McLawrence, this is a City of Fort Lauderdale municipal ordinance violation. I am asking the court to inquire to find her indigent and appoint counsel on her case.
You're indigent, ma'am. I'm appointing the public defender's office for you. And what are we doing about the municipality alleged ordinances?
And just so it's, I know Mr. Reedy over there don't need more work than he already got. Just, I know your intent was the City of Fort Lauderdale, Jarrett McLawrence's law firm, not actually the Howard Finkelstein's office would be appointed to her case because they don't handle the MO cases. Judge, it's a trespassing, and count 2 is an open container in front of the quickie stop here. I'm hoping the court would get involved so she can get this case resolved today.
I'll get involved. What are you asking me for?
Judge, if the court will be open to a withhold on both counts 1 and 2 and court calls no return on count 1 to the quickie March store listed in the probable cause affidavit.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day, ma'am. Thank you. Kiara Holston.
North Brown.
Good morning, ma'am. You're being held on 2 KPS traffic holds. The first one set by your judge at 1,500, the second one 500. I do find probable cause. Your next status is on July 19th at 9 a.m. before your judge. Have a nice day. Thank you. Sharon McKay.
Judge, I've been informed Ms. McKay bonded.
Okay.
Judge, I've been informed Ms. McKay bonded.
All right, thank you. Just I'll put probable cause. Okay. Andrea Shaw.
Yes, ma'am.
No problem, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. You're being charged with alleged petty theft. Bond is set at $25, and I find probable cause. Okay. Thank you. You have a good day. Zakendra Gary.
North Brown, medical reset, please.
Okay, thank you. Zing Wu.
I think she bonded, Judge.
Was that at the main courthouse?
Ms. Wu, I've been advised bonded, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, if we could call another case at a turn, please. Mark Derifaca on page 17. And I believe Your Honor should have a copy of the warrant affidavit. If you don't, I can certainly provide you with one.
Judge, I've been informed, Mark Zarofka, he declined services of public defender, so he's here.
Good morning, Your Honor. Anthony Britt appearing on behalf of Mr. Derifaca.
Okay, let me just find your paperwork, Mr. Derifaca. Here we go. Mark Derifaco, and you have an attorney. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to review the affidavit. At this point, I won't make any argument to the court. Do we know who the trial judge is going to be as it relates to this case?
Your Honor, if I may, because it's on an arrest warrant, the clerk's office will have to bring the paperwork back, assign a case number, and judge, maybe this afternoon, hopefully.
Okay.
Late Monday morning by the latest.
All right.
And I do find for the record probable cause. Count 1 is a life felony, so there's a no bond hold. Correct?
Yeah,
Proof evident, presumption great. Possession or ammo by a convicted Florida felon, $10,000. Aggravated assault without intent to kill, $30,000. From probation of community control for a felony.
and Your Honor, just in abundance of caution, we'd ask for an order of no victim contact.
Okay, and no victim contact. Thank you, which I will sign right now.
All right. Your Honor, and
Nice day.
obviously, at some point when we find out who the trial judge is, we'll put it on for an evidentiary hearing, but obviously we'll just stand on the arrest form at this point.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
Quazera Adams.
Ms. Adams, come on up. Come on up, Ms. Adams.
Good morning. I do find any probable cause arguments on this case? On resisting without violence, bond is set at $100. On operating without a valid driver's license, bond will be set at $100. And for number 3 without lights, there's no charge. And 4 and 5 are both alleged probation violations for which there are no bond holds. And your next date is on July 9th at 9 a.m. Thank you. Yes. 100. 100. I wrote it down. Thank you. Stacy Bustillo.
Ms. Bustillo, come on up, please.
Morning.
Good morning.
You have 2 alleged felony violation of probations, both of which have a no bond hold, and your next hearing date before your judge is on July 19th at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Dolores Allen.
Come on up.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Okay. I find probable cause on the possession with intent to sell. $5,000 is the bond. Deliver PCP within $1,000 of a school, city, or park. Bond is $5,000. Possession with intent to sell or deliver or manufacture cocaine. Bond is $2,500. And additionally, there's an out-of-state hold felony for which there is a no bond hold. Thank you. Jessica Kajet. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, I'm seeing that there is a no bond violation of probation alleged out-of-state felony hold. No, not out-of-state, sorry. My bad, sorry. Your next hearing date in Broward is on July 19th at 8:30 a.m. Okay, thank you. Dagmara Garcia Jimenez.
Ms. Garcia Jimenez is here present, main judge. She's going to require a Spanish interpreter.
All right, so we'll just,
I've already called for one. They should be here soon.
okay. He's being called and I'll just I'll put it here for now, okay? Clermanda Jean,
That's a medical reset, Judge.
medical reset. Jansen, go.
I've been informed she bonded, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Just for the record, I am finding probable cause. Go, G-O-A, I believe. Is that right? Okay. Roy Miller, it's here.
Mr. Miller's here, present, Judge of Maine.
Good morning.
Morning again, Your Honor. George Odom on behalf of
Morning.
Mr. McLaurin's law firm.
Yes.
Again, another city of Fort Lauderdale municipal ordinance violation. We're asking the court to inquire to find him indigent if he is so and appoint counsel.
I'm finding him indigent, and McLaurin's is the attorney of record now. And these are also municipal ordinance violations.
Yes, Judge, both counts.
I do find
no-
probable cause.
Judge, we're also asking the court to get involved on this as well. Count one is same location as the previous one. Count one is trespassing after warning. Count two is open container. We're asking the court to get involved. If the court's inclined to do so, to offer a withhold and court costs no return on count one to the Quick Stop store listed in the probable cause affidavit.
Okay, and when I let you out, what are you, you're not allowed to go back there. You understand that? You go see Mr. McLaurin's. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Ramon Benjamin. Ramon Benjamin. Good morning. Sir, you're being,
Mr. Benjamin declined to serve as public defender.
good morning. I do, any probable cause arguments on 1 through 6?
He declined services of the public defender, Your Honor, so no.
So I'm finding probable cause on allegedly giving false ID to a law enforcement. Bond is $100. Possession of cannabis, there's no charge. And for 1, 2, 3, 4 alleged misdemeanor capious, bond is set at 500, 5,000, and another 500. That's 250 on 5 and 6. Your next status is on, it'll be set in your division. Thank you. Tafferball Gordon.
Mr. Gordon's here, present, Judge of Maine. Mr. Gordon, come on up. Gordon. Gordon. Mr. Gordon. They're calling. Mr. Gordon, come on. He's approaching, Judge.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. You're being charged today with allegedly resisting without violence. Bond is set at $100. Another municipality ordinance alleged violation, and then 3 capious misdemeanor violations, each at $50. Your total bond then is $200. The court finds probable cause. Thank you. Milton Sears.
I've been informed Mr. Milton Sears bonded, Judge.
Thank you. Probable cause, Corey Rumbold.
I've been informed Mr. Rumble bonded, Judge.
Thank you. And probable cause. Okay. Jermaine, I'm sorry, Schaaf.
I've been informed Mr. Schaaf bonded as well, Judge.
Thank you. Probable cause set. Dennis Diogene.
No problem, John.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, you're being charged with alleged touch or strike battery and criminal mischief under or less than $1,000. Bond on count 1 is $1,000, and on count 2 there is no bond held. I do find probable cause.
Your Honor,
Thank
state would request no victim contact.
And no victim contact.
Thank you, Judge.
Should you
And Judge,
get out.
also, I'm going to ask
Thank
you to sign an order allowing our office to take photographs of Mr. Diogenes' injuries, and also I'm going to be in touch with his aunt.
Correct.
So I'm going to call your aunt, Dennis, all right?
All right.
Okay, man.
Gabrielle Anderson.
Come on.
Where's Mr. Anderson?
Hold on 1 second, Judge.
Your Honor, after this case, the Spanish interpreter is present.
Judge, this is a municipal ordinance case.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Hi. How you doing,
Good. So apparently the Dania Beach police are alleging that you were carrying an open container of alcohol in a public place.
Hey, I
So,
was sitting down waiting.
okay, you're not supposed to do that. Do you want to get out of here?
Yes.
All right. So it'll be adjudication and time served, okay? Just any court costs that I have to impose. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Edric Green.
Mr. Edric Green is here, present judge of Maine.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you're being charged with alleged driving while license suspended, second offense, 2 misdemeanor capiouses, $500 bond on each, and allegedly speeding, and your next status will be in your division. Thank you. All right, we're recalling Dagmara Garcia Jimenez.
Judge, she's approaching, and Judge, she did decline the service of public defender.
Good morning, ma'am.
Buenos días, señora.
Do I need to swear
morning.
you in? Do you swear and or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you.
Solange Sands, Your Honor.
All right,
Good
thank
morning.
you. So, good morning, ma'am.
Buenos días, señora.
You are being charged with alleged assigning or prostitution, engaging therein. Bond is set at $300. Practicing or without a license or a revoked license, $1,000. And misrepresenting yourself as a licensed masseur, there is a no charge. I do find probable cause on all three.
Señora, a usted se le acusa de solicitación de prostitución, practicar, la fianza para ese cargo es $300, practicar sin una licencia y eso o una licencia revocada, la fianza de ese cargo es $1,000 y hacerse pasar por una persona licenciada, una masajista licenciada, para ese cargo no tenemos fianza. Pero no cobramos fianza. Y veo que hay motivo fundado para los cargos.
Thank you. Have a nice
Okay.
day. Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias y tenga buen día.
Don Thurston.
Who did you call, Judge? Oh, Thurston. North Broward.
Yes. Don Thurston is for PM.
¿Alguien más necesita servicios del intérprete?
Judge, when you're done, I have another individual who speaks and requires Spanish interpreter.
Okay, where is that person and the name, please?
Maine. ¿Qué es su nombre? Marcos Rodriguez. I'm trying to get location.
I got it. It's near the end. All right. Marcos Rodriguez.
Marcos Rodríguez. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Buenos días, señor.
Sir,
Buenos
you're being
días.
charged
Good
with
morning.
allegedly failing to register your vehicle. Bond is set at $25, and there is a no bond hold on a probation alleged felony violation.
A usted se le acusa
Probable cause. Thank you.
de estar conduciendo sin tener una licencia válida. Esa fianza es $25, pero tiene una fianza, tiene un arresto que no se puede pagar fianza porque ha violado las condiciones de probatoria. Y entonces encuentro que hay motivo fundado para las dos alegaciones.
Thank you. Have a good
Así
day.
que gracias.
Shane
Your
Curl.
Honor, Judge, Mr. Rodriguez, from what I can see, he's on probation out of Dade County. Is there any way you would consider ROR count 1 so that Dade County can come and pick him up? He could take care of the violation case because it is a felony, and then he would have to come back and address this misdemeanor offense.
Ya que el señor está en probatoria bajo del condado de Miami-Dade, pedía el defensor público que por favor la señoría lo deje en libertad bajo su propia palabra para el primer cargo, así que Miami-Dade lo puede ir a buscar de la cárcel y él que pueda resolver su caso que es de delito de grado mayor y esa es la violación de probatoria.
State has no objection, Your Honor.
Okay,
El
so
Estado
he'll
no-
be
no tiene
released
objeción.
on recognizance, and then just make sure you go to date, there's no bond hold, and then date will pick you up. Thank you.
Entonces, sí, lo dejo en libertad bajo su propia palabra. No tiene fianza para la otra, la violación de condiciones de probatoria, así que va a venir Miami-Dade a buscarlo, ¿ok?
Shane
Your
Curl.
Honor, the jail is asking if you could call the very last case on your docket, Kenyatta Staples.
Okay? Kenarda
Judge,
Staples.
Mr. Curl declined to serve as a public defender.
Okay, but, wait, Mr. Curl? Are you Mr. Curl?
Is this Curl?
Okay, once you're here, let's do this right now.
Reset. It's just family.
I do find probable cause for a violation of felony community probation, and there's a no bond hold.
I
The
don't
next visit with your
know.
judge is on July 19th at 9 a.m.
Felonies right now, so.
Now I'm calling Kenyatta Staples.
Your Honor,
Ms. Staples is here, present, Judge. I'm
Your,
ready.
Your Honor, we're gonna ask that this be reset for 1 o'clock. I don't know, if you look at on page 7 of the docket, it says no paperwork. And unfortunately, there were family members that came in, and that's what we were going by. So we told the family members that there's no paperwork, that,
So it's reset
the
for this
defendant might be in the
afternoon,
afternoon. Please.
and that's on Kenyatta Staples, correct?
So it's reset for this afternoon. Okay.
Thank
You'll
you.
be brought back this afternoon.
Dwayne Phillips. Good morning,
Phillips
sir.
is here.
Does anyone have any probable cause arguments? I find probable cause on count 5, burglary of an occupied dwelling unarmed. 6, grand theft less than 5,000, bond is set at 1,000. Burglary unarmed of an occupied dwelling, we need to set bond, I believe. And illegal use of a credit card, bond set at $100. And alleged count 9, fraud, use, or possession of the ID of another without consent, bond set at $1,000.
And Your Honor, just so you know, Mr. Phillips is being held no bond right now on a misdemeanor VOP out of Broward. He's also got a $7,500 out-of-county hold on a felony theft. State would be seeking bonds on the 2 occupied dwellings. State would be seeking bonds in the amount of $15,000 each.
All right. So bond,
Judge, and speaking of Mr. Phillips, right, he's been residing here his whole life. He's 32 years old. At this time, he's looking for work. While he's looking for more stable employment, whenever he can, he works as a day laborer, getting paid about $60 a day. He has no money in the bank, no property. Right now, the only person that could potentially post his bond is fiance, but unfortunately, she's unemployed and she's currently looking for work. Judge, I do realize he does have a no bond hold already, but I'd be asking you to consider setting a $5,000 bond on count 5, $5,000 bond on count 7. That way, the total would be $12,100 on these new charges, but he still has his no bond hold.
I understand, but I'm still keeping them at $15,000 apiece. Thank you. Have a good day. Shaquem Brown. Good morning.
Mr. Brown's here.
There is a no bond hold for alleged felony probation violation. Your next hearing date is on July 19th at 9:45 a.m. Thank you. Navard. William Navard.
Mr. William Navard?
Good morning.
8:15. Morning.
Sir, you're being charged with 1 count of alleged possession of heroin, possession of Xanax, possession of cannabis, and alleged drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause on all 4 charges. Your bond is $1,000 for the first 2 and $100 for the last 2. Thank you.
$1,200. Correct. Awesome.
Robinson Charles. Good morning.
North Broward, I'm Mr. Charles.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you're being charged, sir, with 1 count of burglary of an occupied dwelling unarmed and trespassing in an occupied structure or conveyance. We need to set bond, and I do find probable cause. State?
I'm sorry.
No problem. This is on Robinson Charles.
Your Honor, Mr. Charles, just check his history. Mr. Charles was arrested in early June of this year, specifically June 4th, on, looks like a misdemeanor criminal mischief. He was ROR'd. Your Honor, state would be requesting, because this is a burglary of someone's home, state would be asking for a $7,500 bond and no return to the residence.
I would point out, Judge, that the residence is a family member's residence, as the court can see in the probable cause affidavit. I did not get a chance to talk to Mr. Charles before the court took the bench. There's only so many people I could talk to, but I'd like an opportunity to ask him about his ties to the community.
Okay, certainly.
Mr. Charles, how long have you been living here in South Florida?
A long time.
What's a long time?
Over a year ago.
All right, and are you working right now?
I'm in a transition phase at the moment.
All right, is anybody going to be able to bond you out?
Yes.
Who's going to bond you out?
My family can bond me out.
All right, they know where you are?
Yes, I presume that they do.
Have you spoken to them since you've been arrested?
No, I haven't.
How much money do you think they can come up with to bond you out?
What they are capable of. Their capability. Live and
If I try and contact them, will they come bond you out?
yes, they can.
All right.
Okay, thank you. I am setting bond at $7,500 and no charge for the trespassing, and I do find probable cause for both. Thank you. Frankie Bustamante?
Judge, Mr. Bustamante is here present, man. He declined the services of public defender, so we're not going to represent him, but he wanted me to advise the court he's waiving the reading of the charges. I already showed him what he was arrested on, Judge.
Okay, so we need to set bond on counts 1 and 2.
Your Honor, I'm just checking to see if there is. Your Honor, based on the allegations, and I would note this is also a filed case, this is not just based on simply a probable cause affidavit. The state would be seeking bonds in the amount of $20,000 per count, and just one moment, I just want to. We'd also ask for an order of no victim contact with the alleged victim with the initials WH.
Okay, the court does find probable cause. Count 1, bond is $25,000. Count 2, bond is $25,000. Counts 3 and 4, bond is $1,000 apiece, and there is no contact with WH. Thank you. Altain Zhang?
Mr. Altain Jean, come on up, please. Judge, he declined the service of public defender.
Okay, good morning, sir. I do find probable cause on counterfeit or falsely making a credit card and a probation violation for felony community control. I think we need to set bond on both. Or is there no bond on count 2 that I'm not seeing? Okay.
It's a probation from another state, so now what'll happen is BSO will contact probation from that state and they'll
So
prepare
it's a
one.
no bond
It
holder
should be a
this
no bond.
time, yes. And for the credit card, bond is set at $1,000. Thank you. There is probable cause. Shenard Duval.
Mr. Duval, come on up.
Sir, good morning. I do find probable cause for violation of alleged community control felony. There's a no bond hold, and your next hearing date is on July 19th with your judge at 9 a.m. Thank you. Terry McCormick.
17.
Good morning. Sir, you're being held on 2 alleged felony violations of probation, and it looks like bond is set at 1 for $5,000 and the second for $2,500 by your judge. The next hearing date is July 19th at 8:30 a.m. Thank you.
July 19th, 8:30 is your next court date.
James Terry.
North Broward, Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, you're being charged with alleged possession of cannabis and alleged selling cocaine. Bond on count 1 is $100, and bond on count 2 is set at $10,000. And I do find probable cause. Please speak to your lawyer. It's not safe to speak to me.
Judge,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Terry is wondering if the court would consider signing an order allowing him into the SAP program.
Not at this time. You'll speak to your judge. Thank you. Herbert Walker.
He's here present, Judge, at Maine.
Good morning. Sir, you're being charged with allegedly distributing or delivering cocaine. Bond is set at $10,000. I find probable cause. Does the state have any objections to that amount?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. Bernard Fields.
Mr. Fields is here present, Judge, at Maine.
Good morning. Sir, you're being charged with possession of a weapon by a convicted Florida felon, trafficking in cocaine less than 400 grams, trafficking in heroin less than 28 grams, trafficking in
Your Honor,
oxycodone
is this-
less than
Your
25
Honor,
grams.
is this Bernard Fields?
Yes.
Your Honor, if we could reset, thank you, Brian. If we could reset this for 1 o'clock, he has private counsel that will be here at that time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Private attorney, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna bring you back, reset.
Okay, thank you for this afternoon. Jory Geeter.
Drury. Jeter. Oh, he's approaching, Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, the court finds probable cause on count 1, possession of cocaine, $1,000, count 2, drug paraphernalia, and violation of parole, no bond hold. Thank you. Anthony Anderson.
He's in North Broward, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Sir, you're being charged today with alleged grand theft less than $5,000. Bond is set at $1,000. I find probable cause. And operating without a valid license, and there'll be a no charge on that. Thank you.
I'm going to call your wife, Anthony.
Okay.
Dontavius Polk.
Mr. Polk is approaching, Judge. He's here at Maine.
Okay. Good morning. Sir, you're being charged today with 1 count of alleged resisting without violence, 2nd, aggravated fleeing with injury or damage, 3, providing false affidavit about a commercial driver's license, 4, carjacking without a firearm, and 5, battery on a person 65 years of age or older, and we do need to set bond on these
Yes,
charges.
Your Honor. First, I just want to, the state is going to be seeking bonds on the following amounts. On the aggravated fleeing and eluding, $10,000. On the carjacking without a firearm or weapon, $75,000. On the battery on a person 65 years of age or older, $20,000. I want to advise the court first off that Mr. Polk is currently out on bond for attempted burglary of a conveyance and resisting without violence. In that case, he was actually given pretrial and has already violated pretrial and was brought in on the violation of pretrial and then was posted bond in the amount of $2,100. Additionally, Your Honor, without getting into specifics, I can tell you that Mr. Polk has multiple he's only 18, he has multiple juvenile priors that involve crimes of violence, crimes that are classified as dangerous by the legislature in Florida State. And essentially, Your Honor, I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you. So, what are you suggesting on resisting without violence?
Well, I mean, the resist. I'm not requesting any bond on the resisting without violence, Your Honor, or
Just on the three that you
Yes.
just. All right. So I do find probable cause on all five. Count 2, bond is $10,000.
Judge, could the defense be heard before you make the ruling?
Yes, certainly.
Judge, and speaking to Mr. Polk, he's 18 years old. He's going to school. He's not working. Therefore, he has no money in the bank, no property. He lives in Fort Lauderdale with his grandmother. His grandmother is elderly, so she has limited resources, Judge. From what the state is suggesting, a bond of, if my math is correct, 85 to 95, over $105,000 is something that Mr. Polk cannot possibly bond. Judge, we'd be asking you to consider setting a bond on counts 2, 4, and 5 of $10,000 each count respectively.
Okay, thank you. And am I sua sponte revoking any?
that's your call, Judge.
Yes, I am doing that. And bond is still set at $10,000, $75,000, and $25,000.
And Your Honor, just for the record, the pending felony case number is 17-6530 CF10A.
Thank you.
70.
I wrote it down. It's right there.
Judge, we're gonna need a photo order on Mr. Polk as well.
You got that? Fine, I'll
Thank
sign
you.
it. Alan Noel?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I understand you wrote it down, but I wasn't able to hear when they were speaking. Could you please tell me the bond again?
Certainly.
Thank you.
$10,000, $75,000, and $25,000 for a total of $105,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Victim contact on that case, Your Honor?
No victim contact, and I'm revoking. Correct. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Noel.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you're being charged with one count of alleged petty theft. Bond is set at $750, and there's a no bond probation hold on count 2. I find probable cause for both counts.
Nothing on this case, Your Honor. And I have to make a correction, Your Honor. Mr. Polk, and I apologize to everyone in court. The case he's out on, that Your Honor revoked, is 16-14282 CF10A. And again, I apologize.
Thank you. Bradley Shield. Good morning.
Mr. Shield, come on up, please. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning,
16.
sir.
Morning, Your Honor.
Sir, the city of Hollywood is accusing you of allegedly consuming alcohol in public, but there is an alleged probation violation for a felony for which there is a no bond hold. Excuse me.
On the count 1, it's a municipal ordinance, and since that's technically, I guess, violating his probation, would you appoint Stephen Shade? I believe he's the city
Yes.
public defender for the city of Hollywood.
Yes, I will. Stephen Shate appointed. Thank you. George Dillard. Good morning, sir. Sir, I do find probable cause for count 1, grand theft less than $5,000, count 2, possession of heroin, and count 3, drug paraphernalia. Bond is set at 1,000 for the first two, and 100 for count three. Thank you. Carlos Avilés.
Mr. Carlos Avalos is here present, Judge?
Good morning, sir. Sir, you're being charged today with alleged felony battery. Court does find probable cause, and we need to set an amount for bond.
Yeah, sure. If I could just have one moment, I'm just checking to see if he has any criminal history. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Your Honor, Mr. Avila's he was arrested in Palm Beach County in 2010 for aggravated battery, deadly weapon. That was dropped. In 2010 in Palm Beach, he was arrested for domestic violence battery. That was dropped. In 2004, he was arrested for domestic violence battery. That was dropped. Your Honor, based on just the alleged victim's injuries that are listed, specifically 6 broken ribs and a broken ankle, and then a fractured jaw, the state would be seeking a $15,000 bond, no victim contact, and should the defendant post bond, pretrial release with a GPS monitor.
Any defense
Judge,
arguments?
Speaking Mr. Avalos, he's 31 years old. He's been residing here for over 20 years in South Florida. He's not working. He's on disability. He got $735 per month monthly. Judge, from what he's advised me, he's financially indigent. He has no sort of monetary assets, property, no money in the bank. He's asking me to ask the court, Judge, if you would consider releasing him on some sort of pre-trial release conditions with no sort of monetary aspect to it.
Okay, thank you. Based on the allegations in the affidavit, I'm finding probable cause, and I am setting bond at $25,000. No victim contact, and should he post bond, he'll be on monitor. Thank you. Brian Jones.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, Your Honor.
Sir, you're being charged today with 1 count of alleged burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, actually 2 counts, and a 3rd grand theft auto, where bond is set at $1,000, for possession of cannabis, $100, resisting without violence, $100, and a capias on a criminal traffic by your judge for $500, and we need to set bond for counts 1 and 2, all of which, by the way, I do find probable cause.
All right, can you please send it for me? Thank you. That's the last testimony, please.
Sir, we're not done.
Don't go anywhere yet, Brian. Hang on.
Your Honor, state would be requesting bonds in the amount of $2,500 per count on 1 and 2.
Judge, I was in the process of speaking to Mr. Jones when you took the bench and the phone kind of went out, so I didn't get a chance to finish asking him about his ties to the community.
Please do.
I'd like an opportunity to do that now. Brian, how long have you been living in South Florida?
All my life, bro.
Who's going to come bond you out?
Probably my mom or my dad.
Are you working right now?
At a labor pool, that's it.
How far did you go in school?
12th grade.
All right. Do you have your mom or dad's phone number? I can call them and have them come get you?
Yeah.
What's the number?
954.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, call my brother. Call my brother.
Okay.
954.
Better idea.
4905.
548-4905?
Yeah.
Okay.
4905.
All right. How much money do you think your brother's going to be able to come up with?
Probably about 200 or 300.
All right. Judge, I don't recall the state making any mention of Mr. Jones' prior criminal history. In light of the fact he's still a young man, he's 21 years old, he is working the best he can, finances seem to be somewhat limited. I'd ask the court to set a $1,000 bond on count 1 and 2.
Is there any prior history I should know
I
about?
saw no history, Your Honor.
Pardon?
No criminal history, Judge.
All right, then I will. I'll reduce bond on counts 1 and 2 to $1,000 apiece. And hopefully everything will work out for you. Thank you.
What's your brother's name, Brian?
Deontay Davis.
Okay.
All right, man.
Daron Johnson.
Mr. Duran Johnson's judge is here present at Maine.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I hope you are too. Good morning.
I'm fine, man.
Sir, you're being charged on one count of alleged grand theft auto. I do find probable cause. Bond is set at $1,000. Thank you.
Judge, Mr. Johnson's asking if you would consider pretrial release. He lives with his mother. He has a valid address. Been living there for 10 years. If pretrial can verify, would Your Honor consider releasing him on pretrial release?
No. Thank you.
No?
Nope. Gerald Barnes.
Judge, I've been informed Mr. Barnes bonded.
Thank you, sir. Probable cause found. Michael Zacharick.
Mr. Zacharick is here present at Maine.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you're being charged with one count of alleged fraud uttering a false instrument. Bond is currently at $1,000. I do find probable cause, but I think pretrial has something to say.
If the court is inclined to release him to the supervision of pretrial services, he has been verified. I do see he was arrested in 2010. He was adjudicated on an assault. 2008, there was a loitering that was dropped. He has been verified. If placed on pretrial supervision, he'll be on standard supervision if the court accepts our recommendation.
No objection from the state.
I just want a monitor in case.
Okay, so you want to put him on an electronic monitor?
Yes. And I'll recommend pretrial with a monitor. Thank you.
Your Honor, must he give a schedule or is it an open schedule for him?
Are you looking for work, sir?
We didn't hear the last thing, Judge, so.
I recommended that the defendant be placed on standard pretrial. However, the court has decided that should he be on pretrial supervision, he must wear an ankle monitor. I'm just clarifying with the court what level of supervision that she is choosing.
Judge, would you consider standard pretrial? I mean,
No, but I'll consider an ankle monitor. No other specifics. Thank you.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you so much.
Judge, would you waive the cost of the monitor?
No. Thank you. Nicholas Nelloms.
Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Did you hear me saying all of that? I need to stand up.
Good morning, Mr. Nelloms. Sir, you're being held on a violation felony probation. There's a no bond hold. Your next hearing is on July 19th at 9 a.m. And the court finds probable cause. Travis Pickens.
9 a.m. Good luck, sir. Mr. Travis Pickens? He bonded? Judge, I've been advised Mr. Travis Pickens bonded.
Okay, and I'm just finding probable cause. Tevis Robinson.
Mr. Robinson?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, you're being charged with allegedly intent or possession to sell or deliver cannabis. Bond is set at $1,000 and is habeas on a misdemeanor. Bond is set at $250 by your judge. Your next hearing is on July 19th, and I do find probable cause. Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
Bradley Beauchamp.
Mr. Beauchamp?
Good morning. Sir, you're being charged on 8 different alleged charges, and I'll read them to you. And I do find probable cause on all 8. Pardon? Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. I forgot about the next page. 10 charges. All right. I find probable cause on all 10, and I will read the bonds and the charges right now. The first one, grand theft auto, $1,000. Second, fraud uttering a false instrument, $1,000. 3, counterfeit driver's license or ID, $1,000. giving false ID to a law enforcement officer, $100, possession of cannabis, $100, not wearing your seatbelt, and misuse of a temporary tag, $100, capious felony, no bond hold, and 2 charges of being on hold for the U.S. Marshal's Office, for which there are no bond holds. Your next hearing date is 7/19 at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Yes, Judge.
Robert Taylor. Mr. Taylor, good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, you're being held on a alleged violation of probation felony. There's a no bond hold, and your next hearing date is on July 19th at 8:30. Thank you.
Just so I can let them know this no longer is a good number.
Zachary Wolf.
Mr. Wolf? He's approaching, Judge.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Sir, you're being charged with 1 count of alleged possession of THC, $1,000. Count 2, contributing to the delinquency or dependency of a child. Bond was set at $500. Not wearing your seatbelt. 3rd time, driving while license suspended with knowledge. Bond set at $750. And there are 3 no bond holds for alleged probation of felony violations. Your next hearing date is July 19th at 8:30 a.m. Thank you.
So July 19th.
Sylvester Thames.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you're being charged with alleged driving while license suspended. 3rd or subsequent offense. Bond is set at $750, and I do find probable cause. Thank you.
$750.
Okay, thank you.
Demetrius
Mr.
Graham.
Thames is requesting if you would consider an ROR.
No. Demetrius Graham.
Mr. Demetrius Graham? Page 25. Demetrius Graham? They're looking at anything else, Judge.
Do you want to reset for this afternoon?
Yeah, Demetrius, it's not scratch out. We have paperwork. Okay, so I guess he has to be reset for this afternoon, Judge, because he wasn't brought.
Okay, certainly.
Because I know according to their paperwork, the deputies, they said no paperwork, so I think there was a little mix-up, so
Okay,
reset
so
for
we'll
this-
reset
yeah.
for this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Jean Ismael.
He's approaching.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, you're being charged with alleged driving while license suspended, 3rd or subsequent offense. Bond is set at $750, and then a traffic ticket for allegedly not having your lights on. I do find probable cause on both. Thank you. Jonathan Mayo.
Mr. Mayor is here present, Judge?
Your Honor, these are just change of charges. Confinement status is looking to see what the original bonds were.
Excuse me?
Excuse me. Confinement status is checking to see what the original bonds were when he came through the first time.
Okay. Should, yes.
21 was 1,000, count 24 was 30. I'm gonna take it to the 3,500 or 3,000.
I'm fine with those original bonds being placed back on him.
On 24 and on 21 and 24?
Yes, Judge.
And can you repeat, please, what those were? Thank you. Did you hear that, sir? Thank
Judge,
you.
we didn't hear the bond that was set.
Okay, so on 21, it was set at 1,000, and on 24, 3,500, and there is probable cause. Thank you.
Thank you. Shay Thomas?
Thomas, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you're being charged today with alleged battery on an officer, resisting without violence, with violence, resisting without violence, and battery on an officer. The court finds probable cause on all four. We need to set bond, except for count 3 is already set at $100.
So it's, one moment, Your Honor, I just need to check one thing.
And I do find probable cause.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. We're just about done. Your Honor, Mr. Thomas was arrested just over a month ago, early June, for possession of LSD. He's out on bond. Admittedly, a filing decision has not yet been made. That being said, because he has a pending felony, I'd be asking for bonds in the amount of $2,000 on 1 and 4, the 2 battery and law enforcement officers, and $1,000 on count 2.
Defense?
Judge, in speaking of Mr. Thomas, he's 21 years old. He is working, works for AT&T as a sales associate. He lives with his parents in Sunrise. That's who he's going to be calling to help post his bond. We'd respectfully be asking you to set bond on count 1 at $1,000, count 2 at $1,000, count 4 at $1,000, the third-degree felonies, and also ask you to sign in 2 orders. 1, a phone order, so then he can contact his parents to post his bond, and 2, a photo order, so we can photograph Mr. Thomas's injuries.
Okay. So yes as to the 2 orders, no as to changing the bonds. Count 1 is $2,000, count 2 is $1,000, count 4 is $2,000. And I find probable cause on all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is 100, yes. Okay, Wesley Brown.
Mr. Brown, come on up, please. He's approaching, Judge.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, the court finds probable cause on a 6th charge added, burglary of an unoccupied dwelling unarmed, and we need to set an amount.
Your Honor, the state is going to be requesting a $10,000 bond. Mr. Brown is already being held on another burglary of a dwelling with a $10,000 bond. He's also being held no bond on charges of carjacking with a firearm or weapon and robbery firearm.
Judge, my understanding, Mr. Brown is currently I believe he's being held no bond. He's been in custody now for 5 months. He's 17 years old, hasn't worked, no money in the bank, no property. I mean, he's financially indigent. Judge, we'd be asking you to consider setting a bond of $2,500 on count 6.
No, I'm going to set bond at $10,000. Thank you.
Judge, we're done here at Maine. What time are we going to resume this afternoon?
I believe it's 1 o'clock, but I won't be here, so I'm not quite
Oh,
sure.
okay, you won't be here?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.